And we see each other whenever we can. My problem getting together with Bill is that he's never in the same place for a minute. He's all over. He goes from here to there, and I'm going to catch a plane, I'm done. So, but it worked out quite well. And then, of course, I directed the 2 films, 3 and 4, and then Bill had his shot at number 5. I don't think they gave him a very good script, frankly, but we've become very good friends. And it started off a little rocky, but it worked out fine. I want to say, and answer one of the earlier questions about the development of the Spock character. It's interesting to me, but thinking about it now, this, in the relationship with Kirk, Spock became, I would say, my Spock Prime became much more human and relaxed about himself, about his condition in the end, in his last film. But one of my favorite moments in the series, I think it was in an episode called Devil in the Dark, when we, at the end, when we're doing our wrap-up scene on the bridge, Spock and McCoy and Kirk, and Kirk says to Spock something like, Spock, I think there's hope for you, you're becoming more human all the time. You remember that scene? Yeah. And Spock says, Captain, I see no reason to stand here and be insulted. I thought that was classic early Spock, and we evolved into something else. Anyway, the relationship with Bill Shatner is great. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Hi, Mr. Nimoy. I just want to say I'm a huge Star Trek fan. I'm a huge fan of yours. I love everything you've done. Your literary works, your theater works, your photography. And I'm very fortunate to have been able to download the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins onto my iPod. My question is, will you honor all of us by doing a live rendition of it?
Who sent you here? Did Bill Shatner tell you that?
I was there.
In the first place, when did I do that recording? 1970? Am I right? Something like 1970.
67.
During the making of the series, so this would have been around 1967, somebody from the Studio of Business Affairs came to me and said, there's a man going to make a recording, an album of music, space music, Star Trek music. And they've got to put your picture as Spock on the cover. And they want to know if you want to do anything on the album. So I said, well, I think if Spock's going to be on the outside, maybe something should be on the inside. So I went to New York and spent a couple of days and did some recordings. I think there are 12 cuts on that album. I think I did 6, 3 talk pieces and 3 songs. The album sold quite well. And the company, Dot Records, asked me to do some more albums, and we did a total, I think, about 6 albums over the years. The gentleman who produced those albums was a man named Charles Brion. We became very good friends. And eventually he contacted me, I think we were done with those albums, and he contacted me and said, I got a song that I think you might have some fun with. And it was the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins. Well, I had been reading the trilogy, the Hobbit stories, and I thought this is a fun thing. The kids will enjoy it. It's a fun song. And it was about 30 years before the Lord of the Rings movie. We were way, way, way ahead of the curve on that stuff. So I did it, and then we did a video of it. And now, I guess because of the Ring trilogy, the movies, that thing has popped up all over the place. It's had over 1 million hits on the internet. Is that you hitting it? So it goes in the middle of the earth, in the land of Shire, there's a brave little hobbit who we all admire, right? Long wooden pipe, fuzzy wooden toes, he lives in a hobbit hole, and everybody knows him. Bilbo Baggins, the greatest little hobbit. Just be careful what you do in life because it might come back to haunt you. No, I thought it was a lot of fun. I had a great time doing it, and I'm glad people are enjoying it. Yes, hi.
Hi. I came up from North Carolina.
Really?
Yes, grew up at
Okay.
yes.
I was there not very long ago. I spoke at a resort place. I wish I could remember the name of it.
So do I.
I'm sorry?
DeForest Kelly was the only person in the cast without an accent.
That's clever. Yeah. What a great guy. What a great guy. I had fun. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. A wonderful North Carolina person. Wait, did he come from North Carolina?
Georgia,
From Georgia.
Atlanta.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay. Close
Yeah,
enough.
close enough, indeed.
Yeah.
Up here, close enough.
Yeah.
The last time we talked was backstage at the Peachtree Playhouse in 1980.
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
After a wonderful performance of Vincent.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Wonderful.
you. Thank you.
And I have an appreciation for your photography as well. I'm an advertisement for you here. And
Come on up here and let everybody see this photograph. Come on up here sometime. This lady's wearing a t-shirt that has one of my photographs on it. You got it from the website, is that right? Yeah. Come on up and stand up here for the light. There it is. Good for you.
yes.
This photograph was shot at the Hammer Museum in Los Angeles. It is my version of a painting by Henri Matisse called The Dance. And this was a group of burlesque performers who came from San Francisco and were working in Los Angeles on this particular date. And we brought them to the Hammer Museum and we got this photograph in the same kind of conformation as Henri Matisse's painting. And it's in the book called The Full Body Project. It's a story, the book is a photographic essay on the subject of body image in our culture, which is a whole interesting story. I think it's interesting. We are so obsessed with the way we look in this culture and so obsessed with body weight. And there's a tremendous industry built up around telling women, you don't look right. Buy this diet, buy these pills, buy this exercise program, buy this surgery, and maybe we'll get you closer to what you really should look like. You know? And it's, I think it's kind of cruel, frankly, to be telling people you don't look right. You know? I think you look wonderful. What's your question?
Well, how can I become one of these models?
Do you have the book? The Full Body Project? You have the book, yeah. Well, yeah, and the Shafina book as well. Well, bless you. I'm finished with that project and I moved on to Secret Cells. So we're a little past that. But thanks for your interest and thanks for being modeling for us here today. Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. Good to see you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My name is Jerome Connor. I'm a huge Star Trek fan. As a matter of fact, I'm the regional coordinator for New England for Starfleet International, the International Star Trek Fan Association.
Whoa.
We're 4,000 members strong.
This is an important person. The original coordinator? Regional coordinator.
Yes, sir.
For?
Starfleet International, the International Star Trek Fan Association.
Yes, sir. Great. Okay. How did you get that position?
I've been a member for 20 years, and I basically just worked my way up. And I was voted in by the presidents of the chapters in New England.
Oh, good for you. All right. Okay. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Where do you live?
I live in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, a suburb of Lowell.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What's happening in Lowell? Lowell used to be a big textile town.
It's not so much as high tech now, and the mills are very expensive condos, and they're really renovating the town and turning it very renaissance of a variety of different things.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. A lot of these textile towns in Massachusetts just were really damaged damaged badly in terms of business. It just shut down. As a matter of fact, the Museum of Contemporary Art in North Adams, Mass MoCA, is all based in what used to be mill buildings that shut down some years ago, and the whole town died. And Mass MoCA has revived the town by creating that museum, so that's good news.
Absolutely.
Okay, you have a question?
Yes, sir. My question for you is since Star Trek has been around for well over 40 years now, and you've been an integral part of it, how do you feel about how Star Trek and what it represents, especially the original series, has permeated culture and society throughout the world?
Well, I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of it. We took on some very interesting and important issues. And I would hope that the future movies will do the same thing again. This last movie was preoccupied with loyalty and camaraderie and building a team to put the Enterprise into space as a functioning, functional entity. And I think they did a very good job of that. I'm hoping that in the future they will get on to doing some of the things that we took on. They should take on global warming, they should take on terrorism, they should take on some of these issues that we are so preoccupied with today and make some comment on it, because that's what science fiction does best, is to put the stories in the future that make comment on our present condition. And I think we did that very well in the 60s, and I'd like to see them get back to doing that in the future. And thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Nimoy.
Yeah, hi.
I want to thank you for making my weekend and everybody in this room their weekend as well.
Thank you very much.
I'm an old fan from way back. I used to audio record the show by the speaker so I could listen to it later.
You audio recorded the show?
I was desperate.
Wow.
I love
Is that legal? I don't know if that's legal.
I'm gonna have to destroy those tapes.
Well, no, don't destroy it, but don't tell anybody outside this room that you have it.
I love Star Trek 4, and I love the way you did the time travel scene in Star Trek 4, where you didn't use the big explosions and the star scenes. You did a very contemplative thing with the statues.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about the thought processes that went into that, where that came from a little bit?
Thank you. It's an interesting question. I decided when we were developing that sequence, the time travel sequence, that we should focus on the experience of the individual people on the bridge, and we started by zooming in on Bouchet, and then we painted the entire set white, so it became kind of surreal. It became dreamlike, and each of the cast, including myself, were photographed 360 degrees in a very special photographic technique, so that they could create these 360-degree images of the heads of each of us, which could rotate. And the idea was that each of us were going through this time travel process individually and sort of mentally and metaphysically, in a sense. And so it would have a surreal quality. That's how the whole thing evolved. It was pretty simple, and I think it was effective. You're right, it did not have a lot of bombast, it did not have enormous special effects components. It was quite simple, it was cerebral, and if you think it worked, I thank you for that. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks. Hi.
I was just wondering, it seems that you and William Shatner have a really good humorous chemistry. I was wondering, have you two ever considered like starting your own sitcom or something like that?
I'm not sure I quite understood what you said. Did I ever consider starting what?
Starting a sitcom.
A sitcom. Bill Shatner and I in a sitcom. Well, we just tried Priceline commercials together, which I thought was funny. He's been doing a series called Raw Nerd. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Interviews.
Yes.
And I did one with him, which I thought was quite effective. I think he's very good at it. I really do. I think he's very good at probing and getting to some interesting aspects of the lives of the people that he talks to. And I think we did some interesting stuff on that show.